Okay, here we have a nVidia Quadro. I think it's a 6000 model. I bought it for parts, but as an exercise, I thought, well, maybe I could try and repair it. And I never had a Quadro card in my hands before. Yeah, it's 6000. So I thought I'll turn on camera for this one and see what it is. First of all, like I said, never read about these or never had these. So first thing first, there is a 6-pin connector as well as 8-pin connector right here. I don't know why that is. I see a missing screws right away. I see the sticker coming out. I see some repair has been done on this one in previously. So that's that giveaway. There is thermal paste probably. What else? Weird PCB. That yeah, weird PCB. Weird shaped. We have these G-Sync connector and SLI connectors, and this blower style, which I don't like. The board seems slightly bent as well. These screws, yeah, they were opened, yeah, unscrewed. Seems like many times before. So I don't know how repairable that may be, but yeah, I thought I'll try. Okay, I took the shroud off. That's weird, right? You'll never see that on non-professional graphics cards. And this is all like a big chunk of aluminium. Heat pipes here, and this small fan here that will be probably pretty loud. So, just so you know, the Quadro6000, it's pretty old. I think it's circa 2011 production or something. At least this is when they were still relevant. So it's not like it presents any value, at least monetary value, to anyone. No, not these days. So I bought it out of eBay for parts. I want the memory banks from this one, and I bought it very cheaply. So if I remember correctly, the description was that it immediately turns off. So we have like PC turn on and immediate shutdown with this card installed. So I think now that the shroud is not in my way, I could measure the rails, short on 12 volts, short on 3 volts and 12 volts PCI here. I'll check if these are not shorted. I'll check if the GPU is still alive by measuring the TX and clock and everything that needs to be measured. Yeah, so let's start with the resistance measurements. Ground, whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4 here. That's 3.3 volts, and that's a lot of kilo ohms. That is good. 12 volt rail. 1.5 kilo ohm. That also seems alright. Let's check this. I have nothing here. Nothing here. And oh, and we have a short. Here on the last from the 6-pin we have a short on 12 volt rail. Let's see the 8. Sorry you can't see, but I need to take the measure. I want to be very thorough with it. This 8-pin connector though, this seems all well. It's weird that there is like no connect or a short. I would expect some voltage drop, so something's very dodgy there. So we know there is probably VCO problem or VMEM problem, just from measuring the short on 6-pin. Let's see how's GPU diode mode. And in the front of the card we want to measure a third, a 655 voltage drop, a fourth 685. So there's significant difference, but they won't be shorted at least. Let's see what's the resistance between those two. It's half kilo ohm, which is good. So I'll say the GPU so far looks okay. Again, diode mode, and measuring from the second one, 1.2, third one, 1.2, and ground, alright, fourth. Now I'm very curious, what are these? I see some MOSFETs here. This is probably, it looks like a regulator. These I'm not familiar with. Those may be power rail. Okay, we have a bunch of fuses. We have a hair. Right, what would that be? I need to Google that, because this looks very weird to me. It is plastic shroud or some ceramic shroud. Would that be a power rail? The VCO, that memory, VMEM here on discrete MOSFETs, and that's VCO. There's a bunch of capacitors. All these capacitors were worked on before. We have 6 gigs of RAM, but these are all Samsung memory. Again, I'm not familiar with those specific ones. That was okay job. Right, measurements, resistance. Let's go for 2K. Let's measure here. We have a short. Of course we do. This will be short. Yeah, so this is shorted. How about this? Oh, that's not shorted. I think that's VMEM. So here we have a short. Here we have a short. So this. Okay, no short. No short. No short. That will be ground. Yes, that is ground. So If that's 5 volts, that's fine. So 3.35 is fine. So, but we have a memory shorted, and I don't know about the VCO yet because I'm not familiar with this at all. If those are also VCO, that may be fine. Let's see this side. Yeah, I don't think the VCO should be that low on these old chips. Let me take something that is more precise. Range. .8. Venom, yeah, same. 0.78. Maybe. I thought I'd show you. This is how the chip presents itself. Very nice. Things I also observed. See, it's kind of curved to the left, squished, if you will, and it's only on the bottom side, really. But if this is 6 gigs card, you see how much memory is here on this. So the buffer is 6 gig. I wonder, I need to also Google these because I never came across these specific ones before, maybe because this is older card. So what we have here at the end, this BV rather yada 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 regulator, busted. And this, see that, that's busted. Can I solder that on? How? Somehow? Have no idea. This other one I won't be touching that. So this double MOSFET or a hybrid probably, because judging by it, like the upper half will be MOSFETs that will carry more current, just judging from the pins, and the bottom side, as we are looking at it, will be like probably PWM signals and blah blah blah. So I took also these capacitors, I knocked off these capacitors that need to be fitted back. These, I'm sorry I accused you, they were alright, I'll be fitting those back. And I need this kind of capacitor because the one that was there was physically damaged. So it seems these two guys I need it for, and all that needs to go back. Well, not these two guys, sorry, these three guys are needed, and those guys go back. Easy peasy, right? So unfortunately this one will be waiting for parts, this and these. It's the part of the repair I don't like, waiting for parts. I wish they would just magically appear. So now it's like a week later. I couldn't get the proper chip for it. There is one I found on eBay, this VT chip here. Unfortunately, this is coming out of deep China somewhere, and they want £10 for it, so I'm just not paying that money and waiting 30 days or more for it. So I borrowed this one, this chip. It's a compatible chip, is just from Quadro6000, so it's unable to handle as much current as the original one, which is fine for now, just for test. I fitted the missing capacitor here, the one that was completely mangled by someone. New bug regulator here. Oh, that's bad soldering. I need to make this better, but it's fine to test. So I think I can connect it now to the PC and see what happens. is connected right now, both 6 and 8 pin, and I'm using HDMI to DisplayPort because this card does not have any HDMI output. I could also probably use the DVI connector. So if that not goes well, like no picture, I'll also be checking with this DVI. So to recap quickly, this chip is new, this one. This cap here is new, the other one was mangled and shorted. This is new. This is like a coil kind of a thing, one turn of aluminium on the big ferrite, and this one chip, which is, as you can see, is not covering the entire pad, all the pads, because it's the wrong one. Also a bunch of capacitors. Yeah, soldering is, yeah, still needs to be better, but it doesn't really matter for now. It's at least fitted, all these parts are fitted to test. What I'm expecting from this, probably kaboom. Yeah. let's see then. Turn on. Is the okay? We had one beep, but no signal at all. The die is getting hot-ish. There is some. Oh yeah, now it's getting hot. Yeah, but still no picture out. Right? Let's see the other port. Okay, this time we are expecting that anything will happen here. Yeah, it detected something. Again, one beep. GPU is getting very hot right now. I probably can't keep my finger on that. Yeah, and still no picture. Oh. So as you could see, we have a fail, no picture out. So I've decided to take voltage measurements. I didn't record it because it's like turn on the computer, quickly measure 2 or 3 rails, power off just to give a chip a break, again power on, measure here, power off, power on, measure here, and so on. So it's like a tedious process. So it seems that I'll presenting the measurements now on the screen. They are not your typical ones, not at all. So I have 3.3, 3.4, 135 is typical, Vico is typical, but 3.4 it's not really typical. Plex works, so this chip worked. That's nice. What I will try to do, I'm thinking some of these cards won't boot if there is no fan connected and so forth. So, and I can't really spend much more time on it, at least not right now. So the plan is to put it back together, connect it normally, not through the mining razor thing of a bob, and yeah, see again if it behaves. Right, so there it is, back together in its original shroud. all connected, and I'm using the DVI to this monitor here. It didn't blow up the computer before, being on the mining razor, so I don't expect it to blow up right now. But the question is, when it's all back together and the fan is connected and it's not using the razor, it's using proper PCI time 16 slot, will it work? Well, time for the moment of truth. Power on, fans spinning, monitor. Oh yes, yes, brilliant. So this is one of those that if there is no fan connected, then it doesn't work. Okay, the Windows loaded. Let's see if the driver will install. Nothing so far. So let's connect the mouse and see what we can get. Device manager, unknown device, what I know, Microsoft Basic Display Adapter. Right, can we do update the driver? No. I wonder. Let me try and install the Quadro drivers from the nVidia website. Okay, as I was browsing nVidia website, the Windows installed the driver in the background but didn't do anything. It asked to be restarted, so that's again different from what I normally see. And yeah, in a minute we can tell if the memory is corrupted or how badly it's corrupted. And we have an observer. Well, he doesn't really observe anything, right? Right, yeah. Lucky. Manage device manager, display adapters, nVidia Quadro6000. It is working. It is working. Okay. So the conclusion is obvious. It is working. It has the wrong chip on the V-Core. It's from Quadro6000, so it doesn't handle as much current, but we still have 3 other chips for V-Core that are working. How well this one will hold? I suspect it will be fine. We have 95% of the power that it normally gets from the entire 4 chips. I mean, we may be losing 5%, right? Worst case scenario, 10%. Worst case. Otherwise, it's fine. Of course, it's getting hot really fast because it's the biggest Fermi, I think, that you could buy at the time. It was very expensive. These cards, when new, were $4,000, $4,000 or $5,000, something like this. Of course, nowadays it's still 6 gigs of VRAM, and I think it's a pretty good card for like basic prosumer workloads. Nothing major. But like if someone is using all these CAD or something like this with simple things, that this will do the job still. And yeah, the only thing is the shroud. I have a shroud for new shroud for it. Fortunately, it says Quadro6000 instead of 6000, but at least it's not broken. So the decision is now what to do with it. Of course, I'll do some stress test on it when I'll find time. Otherwise, it owns me not that much money. I should probably either give it away or yeah. You want it? Okay, thank you. Cheers.